Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 5, Book 57, Number 20. Narrated by Muhammad bin al-Hanafiyyah. I asked my father, Ali bin Abi Talib, who are the best people after Allah's apostle? He said, Abu Bakr. I asked, who then? He said, then, Umar. I was afraid he would say, Uthman, so I said, then you. He said, I am only an ordinary person. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 21. Narrated by Aisha. We went out with Allah's apostle on one of his journeys till we reached Al-Baida or Dartul Jaysh, where my necklace got broken and lost. Allah's apostle stopped to search for it, and the people too stopped with him. There was no water at that place and they had no water with them. So they went to Abu Bakr and said, don't you see what Aisha has done? She has made Allah's apostle and the people stop where there is no water and they have no water with them. Abu Bakr came while Allah's apostle was sleeping with his head on my thigh and said, you detained Allah's apostle and the people where there is no water and they have no water. He then admonished me and said what Allah wished and pinched me at my flanks with his hands, but I did not move because the head of Allah's apostle was on my thigh. Allah's apostle kept on sleeping till we got up in the morning and found no water. Then Allah revealed the divine verse of tayammum, and the people performed tayammum. Asad bin al-Huda said, O family of Abu Bakr, this is not the first blessings of yours. We urged the camel on which I was sitting to get up from its place, and the necklace was found under it. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 22. Narrated by Abu Sa'id. The Prophet said, do not abuse my companions, for if any one of you spent gold equal to Uhud, in Allah's cause, it would not be equal to a mud or even a half mud spent by one of them. Volume 5, Book 57, Number 23. Narrated by Abu Musa al-Ash'ari. I performed ablution in my house and then went out and said, today I shall stick to Allah's apostle and stay with him all this day of mine, in his service. I went to the mosque and asked about the Prophet. They said, he had gone in this direction. So I followed his way, asking about him till he entered a place called Bir Aris. I sat at its gate that was made of date palm leaves till the Prophet finished answering the call of nature and performed ablution. Then I went up to him to see him sitting at the well of Aris at the middle of its edge with his legs uncovered, hanging in the well. I greeted him and went back and sat at the gate. I said, today I will be the gatekeeper of the Prophet. Abu Bakr came and pushed the gate. I asked, who is it? He said, Abu Bakr. I told him to wait, went in and said, O Allah's apostle. Abu Bakr asks for permission to enter. He said, admit him and give him the glad tidings that he will be in paradise. So I went out and said to Abu Bakr, come in, and Allah's apostle gives you the glad tidings that you will be in paradise. Abu Bakr entered and sat on the right side of Allah's apostle on the built edge of the well and hung his legs in the well as the Prophet did and uncovered his legs. I then returned and sat at the gate. I had left my brother performing ablution and he intended to follow me. So I said to myself, if Allah wants good for so and so, i.e. my brother, he will bring him here. Suddenly somebody moved the door. I asked, who is it? He said, Umar bin al-Khattab. I asked him to wait, went to Allah's apostle, greeted him and said, Umar bin al-Khattab asks the permission to enter. He said, admit him, and give him the glad tidings that he will be in paradise. I went to Umar and said, come in, and Allah's apostle gives you the glad tidings that you will be in paradise. So he entered and sat beside Allah's apostle on the built edge of the well on the left side and hung his legs in the well. I returned and sat at the gate, and said to myself, if Allah wants good for so and so, he will bring him here. Somebody came and moved the door. I asked, who is it? He replied, Uthman bin Affan. I asked him to wait and went to the Prophet and informed him. He said, admit him, and give him the glad tidings of entering paradise. I asked him to wait and went to the Prophet and informed him. He said, adult him, and give him the glad tidings of entering paradise after a calamity that will befall him. So I went up to him and said to him, come in. Allah's apostle gives you the glad tidings of entering paradise after a calamity that will befall you. Uthman then came in and found that the built edge of the well was occupied. So he sat opposite to the Prophet on the other side. Said bin al-Musayyab said, I interpret this narration in terms of the graves. Volume 5, Book 57, number 24. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet once climbed the mountain of Uhud with Abu Bakr, Umar and Uthman. The mountain shook with them. The Prophet said, to the mountain, be firm, O Uhud. For on you there are no more than a prophet, a Siddiq and 2 martyrs. Volume 5, Book 57, number 25. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's apostle said, while, in a dream, I was standing by a well, drawing water from it. Abu Bakr and Umar came to me. Abu Bakr took the bucket from me, and drew 1 or 2 buckets of water, and there was some weakness in his drawing. May Allah forgive him. Then Ibn al-Khattab took the bucket from Abu Bakr, and the bucket turned into a very large one in his hands. I had never seen such a mighty person amongst the people as him in performing such hard work. He drew so much water that the people drank to their satisfaction and watered their camels. Wahab, a sub-narrator said, till their camels drank and knelt down. Volume 5, Book 57, number 26. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. While I was standing amongst the people who were invoking Allah for Umar bin al-Khattab, who was lying, dead, on his bed, a man behind me rested his elbows on my shoulder and said, O Umar, may Allah bestow his mercy on you. I always hoped that Allah will keep you with your 2 companions, for I often heard Allah's apostle saying, I, Abu Bakr and Umar were somewhere. I, Abu Bakr and Umar did something. I, Abu Bakr and Umar set out. So I hoped that Allah will keep you with both of them. I turned back to see that the speaker was Ali bin Abi Talib. Volume 5, Book 57, number 27. Narrated by Urwa bin Azed Zubair. I asked Abdullah bin Amr, what was the worst thing the pagans did to Allah's apostle? He said, I saw Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayt coming to the Prophet while he was praying. Uqba put his sheet round the Prophet's neck and squeezed it very severely. Abu Bakr came and pulled Uqba away from the Prophet and said, do you intend to kill a man just because he says, my Lord is Allah, and he has brought forth to you the evident signs from your Lord?